a message and put it to the side real quickly if I can. Here we go. Hey guys, yeah, I want to come on here. I got about 30 minutes before my bus arrives to take me home. I'm going to be off tomorrow, so I might do another live stream tomorrow. But I wanted to do this one because, you know, if for anyone that's been working in retail like I do, I mean, I've worked in retail for, most of, the 2000s, if you will. I mean, started in 2000, God, what was it, 2003, 2004 or something like that. And, broke off a little bit, tried to get, a job elsewhere, and finally ended up at Walmart in 2006. So, yeah, it was about 2000, about 2003. Yeah, 2003, because I was at Foofaless. And, like I said, had on and off experience with, places like Home Depot, and I think even before Foofaless, Hastings and stuff. But my foothold really didn't get, into retail until about 2006 when I applied and almost instantly got hired by Walmart in Lawrence, Kansas, and worked there for over a year. I would have still been with Walmart coming back here in 2007, but the arrangements were a little, I guess you could say, different, and complex. Basically, they wanted me at one of the Modesto ones in August. Me for a second. Okay, sorry about that. But yeah, I'll just mark it to where you could start basically right about here. I'll just say awkward beginning, awkward intro, and then I'll just put like start here for, full details. But like I said, my retail journey started, like I said, around 2003 with Foofaless, and then from there I kind of went about with other places. It didn't last too long, and then I landed at Walmart in 2006 after I came back from visiting here for my birthday. And basically, I worked, at that company for about, I would say, a little over a year. And the original plan basically for me was to try to transfer to a Walmart in Modesto. But the Modesto one wanted me a lot earlier, and financially I couldn't afford to get there at the time they wanted me. So yeah, I couldn't make that work. Couldn't make that happen. So instead, I was out of work for at least, as I check the time, you're trying to check the time, here we go. I was out of work for at least, I would say, almost 7 years. Almost 7 years. I mean, they still, honestly, here's what's crazy. Walmart still had me penciled in to get down to Modesto, get down to the Livermore one, because the Livermore one was going to take me to around the time I was going to, get out there, but that would have conflicted with my mom, because as I was trying to say before the awkward beginning there, here for this live stream, basically, it would have been complex because my mom works at the Head Start in Livermore, and that's right across town from where the Walmart I would have worked at would have been. And she basically would not want to go out. She was basically not going to go out of her way, to get me to work and then rush herself to work within the same morning, if you know what I mean. So that was out the window, and then finally I got a job at the Walmart in Patterson, a year after it opened, and I was there for about 6.5 years until they cut me because of what I did, even though I still believe that had they, talked things out with me, or at least waited to till basically the front manager, if you will, the front end manager, who's still there. She had taken, I guess, a personal hiatus for a while. I saw her like a couple days ago, and she joked around with the fact that I became a traitor because now I work for the competition. But anyway, long story short, they didn't wait for her to be there. I mean, if there's one thing I'll give Burger King, at least they waited till one of the people was there to basically let me go because of some stupidity that I did. And, I don't know what I was thinking when I did it. I was, I guess my brain was just fried, I guess you could say. But anyway, at least they waited till the next day to kind of, give me my walking papers, if you will. But here they didn't. They just brought in an AP regional person. Yes, she tried to save my job. Didn't happen. Couldn't happen. So I was out of a job for at least over a year. For over a year, I was out of a job. I didn't get a job again until I got to Dollar Tree. And even though that seemed promising, that was basically going to be a seasonal deal that wasn't even going to work out fine. I mean, I tried. I even tried to be there when they wanted me to be there, but I couldn't because I couldn't catch the bus. And when I tried to get Lyft to get down there, Uber, if you will, basically didn't have enough drivers or didn't want to do it. So, that cost me. And the manager, she basically got mad. I don't know if it was her frustrations or something, but here's what's crazy. At least I made an effort to go down there, and they never called me back after that. They never called me back to work again. And I don't know if that girl is still there managing or what, because she shouldn't have had the attitude that she did. She should have been more understanding, like, okay, I understand. I wish you could have made it, but that's fine. We'll try to get you here another day. But that didn't happen. That didn't happen. And again, I don't know if she's still there or not. And then, thank God, about a month or so later, this store here came calling after I applied with them, and here I am, almost a year into working with them, and it's basically been a great experience. I am not denying that. It's been a great experience for me. But with that said, you're probably wondering what this has to do with the title of the video. Well, one thing I've noticed, here on YouTube, is there are videos of fellow retailers out there, cashiers, people that work in retail, stuff like that, who basically have gotten behind the register at one point in their career. So even gotten behind the register in their department. And I will say this. If there's one thing every retail company's employees, associates, attendees, if you will, can basically agree upon and relate to, it's the customers and one of the most annoying traits. You see, one of the more annoying traits of the customers at times is, well, basically, one of the annoying traits is they want to have the thing specifically packed a certain way because of OCD. You could tell if they have OCD in some way and they want things done a certain, or packed and bagged a certain way, then they're gonna tell you to do it. Or they're gonna say, let us do it because we know how we want it done. Okay, fine. Not a problem. Not a problem. Now, you might say, well, what else annoys people? What else annoys them? Well, I'll tell you what else annoys people. Well, not people, but the attendees, the associates, the employees, if you will. I'll tell you the other thing that annoys them. It's the fact that the customers sometimes forget about items. And they either decide, whoops, I forgot about this. They either take their items off the belt or off the storage area where they put them, where they store them to check them out if they're in self-checkout. One of the things that is annoying is them realizing, oops, we forgot something, and then going to go get said, thing that they forgot, and either, taking their time to put this stuff back in the cart and go get that other thing, or leaving the stuff there, and basically causing the other customers behind them to get annoyed as well, because the thing they probably want to get that they forgot is on the other side of the store. So they have to rush and hurry to get it, and you as a cashier either have one or two options. The best option, in my opinion, is to suspend the transaction, so that way when they come back, you can just resume where you left off. The other option is just to wait and see whether or not they'll come back in a decent amount of time to at least check out without having the purchase suspended or something like that. But to me, I think probably one of the biggest annoyances, and I'm sure everybody that's worked at where I'm working at now, Target, or worked at Walmart, or worked at Kohl's, at Macy's, where else? At Five Below, if you will, at TJ Maxx, you name it. Dick's Sporting Goods. Every place is probably busy this time of year because it's Christmas. People are doing Christmas shopping and all that. If there's one thing that I'm pretty sure annoys them the most, especially the major retailers like Macy's, Target, and Walmart, if you will. If there's one thing that annoys them probably more than anything, is the fact that customers, instead of basically using the option in the app that allows you to store, the difference in price from online and in store, so you could get a price match right off the bat, and by basically bringing up that list and showing people, customers at times will take the phone out and start looking for a price match right then and there. Now, I'm not saying we cashiers are not, innocent in that. I'm not saying we are. Because we cashiers will do that too, just because we know, hey, there's a deal, and hey, we want to help our customers. Even though it annoys the other customers, I admit that, we do it ourselves. But there are times we also realize, okay, we can't do this because we got a long line, so we need to hurry. But if there is one annoyance about that when it comes from the customer side of things, is when the customer decides to do it when there's a long line behind them. And a good prime example of that tonight, ladies and gentlemen, about a little over an hour ago before I clocked out, A little good example of that is when I was coming back from my break, I was told to relieve my fellow attendee cashier on register 4. And I was like, okay, fine. Not a big deal, right? Relieve them, let them go to their break, whatever. Well, apparently, and I do apologize if you've heard something there like a little hum. That was like a notification. That was a notification coming in, and there's another one. I do apologize for that. But basically, I come back from cashiering, and hold on for a sec. Hold on for 1 second. Oh, I don't even look that, buddy. Well, like I said, I come back from my break. I'm told to relieve the person over on register 4 so they can go to theirs. Okay, I'm told to do that, so I'm like, okay, fine, no problem. But as I go over there, she's in the middle of doing a transaction, with another customer, and it's, I think it's the third transaction of 5 separate transactions, and the customer is price matching almost everything. And you can just tell my fellow cashier's eyes that she was getting annoyed along with the customers that were behind this lady who had a lot of stuff, and she didn't have to price match. She could have just been like, okay, this is the prices here in the store. I'll go home, or after I check out, I'll go to the side, price match them, go to customer service, and get my money back, on what I price match. And because they could do that, you could go to customer service after you cash out and say, look, I know I didn't have time to really, show this to the cashier or anything, but these are the differences in prices. I'd like to match that, and all they have to do is show their receipt to the person at customer service, and they'll take care of them. That's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. But again, this is where the whole, let's find you a deal by price matching ends up becoming an annoyance. Because basically, there are people like that lady tonight that will price match almost everything on all 5 of their separate transactions. So I just told the girl who was running things, who was kind of like a team, she wasn't a team lead, but basically she was I guess you could say she was a leader in training. She's basically the person at self-checkout that tells people, okay, where to go to, help cashier here, like either relieve this person for the meal, the break for them, or for them to go home, or relieve, or basically get on register because no one needs a break or a meal. I just told her, look, she's in the middle of a transaction. I was willing to, step in, but obviously, I guess this lady that she was checking out didn't want, anybody to change. Didn't want a change in cashiers or something like that. I don't know. And I guess she did. And I guess my fellow cashier, my fellow attendee felt like, I'll just finish it because I don't want to confuse her and everything. And that's okay. That's fine. But I don't think she counted on the fact that this lady was going to go to Price Match City, if you know what I mean. But yeah, again, it becomes an annoyance when customers decide to do it and do it during busy hours of the day or evening, and other customers are waiting behind them and getting just as annoyed as the cashier. But that isn't the only thing that's annoying either. Oh, no. That isn't the only thing that's annoying. You want to know what else is annoying, ladies and gentlemen? And I've dealt with this so many times today and recently, and even since I've been here. And also since I've been at Walmart. But at Walmart, I'll give them the edge. At least they had the know-how, or at least they had I guess you could say the know-how, the acknowledgement to realize, hey, this person's trying to get this on the cheap. We can't let that happen. And yet when it does, they have to at least talk to us as cashiers and say, look, we know there was no probably, reasoning with this person and saying this is not the right price and everything, but you have to stand your ground. At least they're willing to say, hey, look, we get what you're saying, but, that's not true, but that price is not right. Either somebody put it there because they wanted to try to get it cheap, or you can give them kind of a look and talk to them in a way to acknowledge that, hey, maybe you did that, not flat out say that, if you will, but kind of give them a look and a knowledge of a speech saying, hey, maybe you did that. Like I said, not implying, them directly, but kind of giving the idea that maybe they did it because they don't want to pay full price. And look, I understand it. Everybody wants a cheap price. I get it. But here's what was interesting, okay? Here's what was interesting. All right? So basically, one of the customers I had today was checking out, getting a bunch of toys. 3 of basically the same thing. And there was some more notifications going off. I do apologize. And that was something from Geeks and Gamers. But anyway, like I was saying, basically today I was checking out a customer, and they basically were buying 3 of everything when it came to some toys. And one of the toys they were buying was the Super Mario Brother Bowser airship. It was, I don't know if it's a Mega Block Lego kind of thing, or basically it's a play set, I think. It's Bowser's airship with Bowser's head on the front of the ship and all that. But anyway, I'm sure a lot of you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, what happened is I ring it up, both ways. Both here with my phone, because we weren't that busy and everything at the time I checked these people out, so I rang it up with my phone, and it said $29.99. I rang it up on the cash register. It too said $29.99, but they decided to show me a picture saying, oh, nope, you're wrong. It's $9.99. So I was like, okay, fine. So what I did is I went and I chose an option, which was basically a missed promotional option, if you will, and put it under $9.99. Because if I used, the label option, the signed label option, or whatever, they would have to, from what I understand, change it to that price. And it would go for that price, which isn't correct, which isn't right, which isn't, justified, if you will. So I just went with missed promotional option and offer and everything, and that was it. But again, what annoyed me about it is, look, I understand, like I mentioned, I understand they want to get cheap prices, they want to save money and everything, and maybe because it's Christmas, they want to get their kid this item, but they don't want to spend the full price. I understand that, but still, sometimes you have to pay full price, especially if it is this time of year. If you want to, to me, this is a year about sacrifice. This is a part of the year that's about sacrifices when it comes to gift giving. It's a year about sacrifices. And I think honestly, there couldn't be a bigger sacrifice than to pay the full price for something, even if you're getting 3 of each, in my opinion. Even if you're getting 3 of each. There couldn't be a bigger sacrifice, in my opinion. There can be a bigger sacrifice. But again, that to me is one of the biggest annoyances out there, because when you really think about it, I'm sure I'm not the only one that's dealt with that works in retail. I'm sure my online friend Jaime James Sullivan, who also works at Target, has dealt with this too. I'm sure he has. But the point I'm getting at is it's annoying. Especially when, okay, so get this. About a couple of weeks ago, I was checking out an elderly couple. Well, not totally elderly, but, they spoke different language, kind of language barrier thing, but they understood enough to where they basically showed me, that one of the new Shark vacuums that goes for about maybe $150 at total, 160 at most. 160 at most. They said, oh, no, wrong. It was supposed to be for $49. And I don't know if they showed me a picture or something, but they were determined. So I said, okay, fine. And I gave it to them for $50 basically. For mainly $50. But again, what annoyed me about that is I know that wasn't right. And I know all they wanted was to get the cheapest price, and I get that. But sometimes if you don't have the money to get what you want, then maybe you should try for a cheaper alternative, at least for the time being, until you save the money up. That's how I look at it. But they didn't want to do that. And that is probably one of the biggest annoyances any retailer, cashier in retail, or anybody that's cashiered in retail that maybe still is in retail at that company they work for, or maybe in a different department, different area. It's one of the biggest annoyances that I think they face outside of the whole, customer price matching kind of deal, when there's a long, busy line, or a long line on a busy night, if you will. I think that's probably one of the biggest annoyances. Hold on for a sec. I gotta do something. But I think that's probably one of the biggest annoyances. I gotta charge my phone here. It's about to die. Alright. Got it. I got in the mud a little bit. Now I can wash it when I get home. It'll dry up a little bit. So I had to do that. My phone was about to die. It was at 15%, if you will. And there it goes. Sorry about that. My phone died. But like I said, that is probably one of the biggest annoyances of customers. The fact that, along with the customers making the price match when there's a long line on a busy night, you have, like I said, customers wanting to, say, oh, this is the price it should be when it comes to items that you can clearly tell are not that cheap. I mean, the fact that, like I said, this older couple, wanted to get one of the new Shark vacuums for basically $100 less than what it was, if not more. It's like, come on, seriously. There might be a language barrier, but you have to understand that can't be what you think it is. It can't be. But yet, I had to give it to them because I could tell already, that they're not the kind of folks that would be reasonable to talk to and say, no, that's not right. I mean, at least, I'll put it this way, at least there was a couple to the young couple, or a semi-young couple, about around my age, maybe older, that basically understood, once it was explained to them, oh, these are the cards you get the $10 back, or the $10 gift card back, or you basically get the $10 gift card from. These are the gift cards you get get it from, not every gift card. So at least they understood that, and they didn't fight it. At least they understood that. But again, it's just one of those things where you got all those kind of annoyances, like I said, that just are like, it gets under not just customer skins, especially customers that just want to get in and out. It gets under cashier skins. And hopefully over time, every retailer out there, from where I work now, Target, to Walmart, to Macy's, to Kohl's, to all of them, will wake up and realize, hey, we cannot let customers do this. Even if there's a language barrier, we have to make them understand this is not the price it's selling for. That's not where you found it. And either somebody put it there because they wanted to try to pass it off as the right price, or you did. So hopefully, that day will come, maybe next year, but we'll see. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here and talk about this, the things that annoy people that have been cashiers in retailing, if you will, even to this day. Because I can tell you honestly, if something isn't done, these kind of annoyances will continue, and it'll continue to a point that people will either want to change departments in their job or want to leave their job entirely. I'm not saying I want to leave mine. I'm happy there. I enjoy working with people I work with, but still, it's one of those situations. So hopefully, all these retail companies will come together and be like, enough's enough. You customers need to knock this crap off. So hopefully they do that. Again, I apologize for the notification there. I had to restart my phone here because it died. But anyway, let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Any of you that's worked in retail, let me know what your thoughts are overall. And until then, I'll talk to y'all later.